Subject line is always the same when you get these emails. It's always, do you remember me? And it's so funny because students who tend to reach out to you years later, it's always people you remember. So I always start with, of course I remember you. You know, you sat in the third row. You can visualize exactly who the student was. And the reason she was writing to me, because when I wrote back to her, I said, yes, of course I remember you. You know, and she said, I'm so glad I found you because I just wanted to thank you. You made such a difference in my life. Like, there's nothing you could do that gives you those sorts of moments other than teaching. And this particular student was a first-generation college student. English was not the language spoken at home. She was very bright, but she would not have succeeded in accounting if I had just sort of let her flounder, because she could learn the material herself. What she couldn't learn was how to interact in business and how to develop the soft skills. So I signed her up with the student government group. She took tickets at the events on campus, or she was helping out, you know, whatever event was going on, and she got the social skills through that. And then when she needed to learn, she was Chinese and she'd never eaten without chopsticks. So another faculty member and I took her out to eat in a restaurant so she could learn how to use a fork and knife. Like memories like that's really special when a student like that comes back to you after 30 years and just says, you know, you changed my life.
There's going to be two parts. One part is getting an email and then a call from a student informing him that he had just been offered a job by Goldman Sachs, which is unusual for an economics major at Fairfield. And so it was kind of good to see we had got him in the right place. He'd met the right people. Super hard-working student, very bright student, and that was pretty impressive. There's another sort of not very positive note. One of my former students, who was to be the valedictorian of his class, but he was killed in an accident less than a week before graduation. And I got a call at 2:30 in the morning. My wife got the phone. She handed it to me, and it was his roommate, who was also my advisee, informing them that Frank had died. And I said, what do you need me to do? He said, can you come to Newport? And my wife said, did I hear that? I said, yeah. She says, I'm going to make the coffee. You go jump in the shower and head to Newport. So, you know, fortunately I got there and there were a couple of Jesuits there because they know better than I do what to do in that situation. My job was just to be there and try to do whatever I could. So one, it's been with a joy and seeing them, you know, do well, get to graduate school or get a good job. But it's also knowing that you got to be there when the lousy stuff happens. And I think that in part is why this is a pretty special place. Not that we don't have some issues, but let's just say that's what makes this a pretty special place. What's, according to Mr. Romano?
Yes, and you import almost Walmart.
Mr. Eric Lindblom, because part of it was that he knew the subject matter so well, but part of it was also that he wasn't just like a teacher. He acted like a mentor too. He cared about all of the students, and he actually was concerned about our transition to college and stuff.
Them who turn out to be friends, and there's one of our students who graduated in 2004 who calls me every time he's changing girlfriends, is what I say. Whenever there's a life-changing moment, you know, he got a bad review at work, he got a great review at work. He's broken up with a girl broke up with him. Invariably, I'll get a call from him. So, I mean, that's the piece that's just, and that doesn't happen in the classroom. Those relationships were built mostly outside the classroom. You know, tie into their numbers, that's great, but I wanted you to look at the analysis. All right, that's the material for the exam.
Realize that wherever they are, whatever level they're at in terms of their abilities and their challenges, just try to do better today than you did the day before, and stop putting yourself down, because there's enough other people out there who'll do it for you, and they'll really enjoy doing it. So I just want them to make progress. You know, not everybody's going to be great in economics. Not everybody's going to be good in math or English. So you just got to find your passions and go have some fun. And if you don't like what you're doing after 5 years, get the heck out and go do something else. Because sometimes I was lucky enough to find something that I really enjoy and I love. Not everybody's that lucky. They have to go fishing for a while and find it, but go. Find your passion and follow it.